Everybody, this is Panda. It's just a little story about a man and his dog. As you can hear from his breathing, Sasuke's time with us is very short. And God, I love him so much. He's always been there for me. He's one of my best sons. So it's my little kind of goodbye to him. And kind of give you guys an insight on what true love kind of can be like, ultimate loyalty, right? Because only dogs are the only creatures on the planet that loves their master more than they love themselves. True, right? Look at all the packs. They love their alpha. Man, he's been such a good boy. He's about to turn 13. Really gonna miss him, man. I was sitting here just hugging him earlier, just tears, and he just kind of knew it. Came and licked my tears up, you know. So let's go. Let's talk about the story of the life of this dog right here, Sasuke. He lived a pretty amazing and a rough journey himself, right? You know. So let's start with, in the very beginning, I wanted to know. So I was with my girlfriend at the time. She got like a purebred Siberian Husky, and I just wanted to rescue a dog. So we went to some dog adoption place, like a dog shelter thing. Well, the way they did it, like their nonprofit, the way they did it was like only like pregnant dogs were saved there, and then they would like let them have their litter and then adopt out the litter, right? So we, being Yaya, my niece, we went on a little journey over there, and we decided to look at his pen. We got out and looked at his pen. He had 8 brothers and sisters, right? He was the runt. He was the smallest guy. But they let us pick out like 2 so that we could play with them individually to see how we liked it. And Yaya picked this guy right here, Sasuke, you know. And he's 13 years old. He came around the time when I got into my motorcycle accident, which is a different story altogether. But it's my right leg is paralyzed from motorcycle accident that happened in 2009. That'll be in another story, or you can listen to the Matt Cox story. You'll hear about that. Anyway, my right leg's paralyzed. So then she I have a picture somewhere of her like riding home holding him, and so then him and his big brother, which was Fangs, which was a Siberian Husky at the time, unfortunately, like they caught parvo, you know. And when we called the vet, and this is when he was a puppy, you know. We called the vet, and you know, they did a test on Sasuke. He came back 100% positive. Unfortunately, we did lose Fangs, Siberian Husky. But Sasuke here, I mean, he's a survivor. Like he fought it. He fought it. He was like, because they were like, we're gonna hydrate him and put an IV in him and everything. But you know, he's got like a 25% chance of making it. I mean, that disease is like horrible. I've never even heard of parvo until I got a dog. You know, apparently it's like one of the #1 puppy killers. Like, never ever take your dog to like a PetSmart or anything like that. You let them stay at home until they get all the vaccinations before you take them out. Believe me, you're gonna save yourself a whole lot of heartache. So anyway, at the time, you know, the doctor told me like the bill would be roughly about. Well, first of all, first, the night before, before I brought up in, I had a little talk with him. And I told him, like, you know, I love you. And then I remember at this point, he was still a puppy, so me and him hadn't built this bond like right now. But I told him, I was like, you know, like, my limit is $1,000. And if it's over that, I'm sorry. Like, I can't. There's nothing I can do. You know. Um, Turns out it wasn't even nice. It was like 30 something bucks. Yeah, they held him in there for like 3 days. So he comes out. He makes it. He makes it through Provo. You know. I guess that had to really suck. Cause I mean, he was like just throwing up. It was gross. So then after that, he just kind of was my dog. He actually, I was in an accident. So like I was, he kind of made me feel like, yo, get off your ass. You need to come take care of me. Like, I need food. I need some water. Like, stop, get off your ass and do something, And he did that for me, at least. He made me feel like I was responsible for somebody, But he was there for me. I mean, like, every day I came home, he'd be right at the door waiting on me, I feel bad because, like, in the very beginning, I did take him out to the dog park. I used to play with the backyard, throwing the balls into the brush. I know that I've, like, been really crappy about doing that, lately with him. But, plus he's old now. It's hard for him to go around and get things now. It's tough for him just to get upstairs. So then, I can't remember what year it was. It was my 40th birthday, so I guess it was 2020. 2020, he accidentally got out. And he was out. We didn't even find out that he was gone. I didn't find out that he was gone until, like, hours later, until we got home. And I was speechless. At this time, I've had him now like 8-9 years, so like he's definitely fam at that point, I was sad. I was broken. I was just driving around, calling out his name. I felt responsible, I talked to the neighbor, and they said, he said he went there. He sat in front of that garage door for like a good 30 minutes before he left. We were gone for like 5 hours. So anyway, he got lost, and I made like a post on Facebook for him. And believe it or not, this post, it got 10,000. 10,000, all right? It didn't get 10,000 likes. It didn't get 10,000 comments. It got over 10,000 shares. I mean, the post that I made about, like, him being missing and, like, if anybody sees him, like, I mean, it got shared over 10,000 times. He was pretty famous. And, like, every night, we was gone. Every night I was, like, building signs. I was working at the time, trying to work. And at the same time, I'm out there looking for him. And I'm like, anytime I get a call or something like a tip, I would end up going out there. Like, somebody would call me and be like, hey, I think I saw a dog like it looks like yours around this neighborhood. I would go out there with the steak and heat it up with the whatever the flame thing, and I sit there and call his name for a little bit just to see, I believe it or not, I followed so many tips that I actually found other dogs that were lost, and I got them to animal control to the shelter where they got their help. But really no signs of them, like no positive IDs. I got like so many people sending me their footage from like Ring doorbells, things like that, and or their surveillance, and I mean nothing. Like kind of looks like him, but not really him. So then I got weeks. I got signs at like every intersection. We literally, it was crazy. We got volunteers that came out to help look for him. I was on the fucking news. I was on 11 o'clock fucking news. Yeah, I was on 11 o'clock fucking news talking about him, And, I was getting calls from like man, California. Like people were like these stories that they thought that maybe like a trucker picked him up and like he ended up in California. It's like, well, I was getting crazy calls, all kind of crazy calls. Um, but no real signs of it. I couldn't find them. And so many volunteers came out, so many friends came out and helped pass out flyers. Even made flyers. Like the guy printed all of my flyers for free. You know, so many people came out to help. They brought out drones to ride down the railroad tracks to make sure that there was nothing there. But I'll tell you, on the very first day that he was gone, and I was driving around, I came across a carcass with the white belly, same color as he is, and I'm talking about like right on Highway 29, and I'm talking about like guts blown out of it. You know, fresh. It's very fresh too. So I pulled over, and I just broke down. I called my brother-in-law up, went in. I was like, "Hey, you gotta come get him because I can't see him again like that. You know, I just couldn't see it. But I couldn't get the thought out of my head of that, you know. And I was sitting there crying in the car. So then finally, when he gets over there and he goes with the looks, and it's not him, it's a deer. Wouldn't you believe that? A deer. And I remember my brother told me, he's like, it's funny because he was like, hey, because it wasn't him, I'm destined to find him, you know? So anyway, it wasn't him that day, but I mean, oh God, just talk about like the hurt. I felt it, and like it's like going home and seeing, you know, a family member murdered, you know, like it's on the side of the road like that. So the search went on and on and on and on for like 5 weeks, and like literally, we even went on Facebook and was like, you know, I wrote a goodbye letter to him because I mean, at some point you gotta close the door on it. I can't search for him forever. I can't go pass out flyers forever. You know, I already did it for 5 weeks. You know, and working at the same time, and I was at an accounting firm, so I was very busy during tax season. But I mean, I was, and once again, I'm disabled. You know, I'm going out there, you know, hammering signs. I got one good leg. You know. At night, you know, all the way to 2, 3 in the morning every night, and making signs, and oh man. So anyway, 5 weeks gone. 5 weeks. My 40th birthday party, I get a text, and it's like, hey, I've been seeing this kind of like this dog coming by my house as I've been feeding it, and you know, and I saw your signs or whatever. They took a picture of it. It was very blurry. You know, it wasn't like a very good picture. But you know what? Something in me told me like, oh my God, that's Sasuke. That's him, you know? But I was like, you know, hey, I'm in the middle of a party because by this time we gotta go. I've gone up to so many like false like alarms. It was getting out of hand. Like I basically went and checked every tip. You know, and I mean, for a while, for the longest time, I was at the shelter every weekend and every day. They do me by name up there. So 5 weeks go by. On my birthday, on my 40th birthday party, I get that text, and I was like, "Hey, is there any way that like you could hold that dog until tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll come by and see, you know?" So anyway, my party ends and the next day goes. We get to the next day, so I call the guy back, and I was like, "Hey, have you seen the dog again?" And he's like, "No, but I haven't seen it." Right? So okay. So the whole day I'm just watching TV, whatever, and then I'm working, and then that night something told me, hey, call this guy again, So I called him up again there that evening, and this is probably like 11 o'clock. And I was like, "Hey, have you seen that dog?" He's like, "Yeah, he's here right now." Okay, I'm like, "Wow, can I come check him out?" Like, all right, sure. He gave me his address. I put it into my Google Maps, and it said I was 3 minutes away, right? I was like, 3 minutes away. And I looked, and it's actually 3 minutes away walking. He literally lives across the street on Highway 29 from my neighborhood. So literally, to drive there would take less than a minute. So I get there, and I'm walking towards the backyard. I see him in the back there. I see him in the back. Some Spanish guy. And I get back there, and I take a look at the middle of the yard, and immediately, as soon as Sasuke saw me, he came running. He came running. But he had a broken leg. Like, I mean, broken, like 90 degrees, just dangling, broken, you know. His right leg was broken. So, like, I was very happy to see him, but at the same breath, I was very, very upset. Sad, you know. And I don't know how bad off he is. So I hug him, and I end up, giving this guy, the reward money. It was $500 though, working for hours. But it's funny because Sasuke had his collar on him still. Like, I was thinking, like, if everybody caught him, he has a collar tag. He was a chip, but like, he has a collar. His tag has all my information: my name, my phone number, my address. It says reward on it. Still there around his neck, and he doesn't smell like he's been outside a day, much less 5 weeks. So my theory is, well, and then another generous volunteer, I can't remember her name, but I was gonna take Sasuke into the vet the next morning because I didn't want to go through the 24-hour, over his leg. I mean, either way, he's already gone 5 weeks with it, But she was like, no, she says, so we went, and yeah, the vet was like, his leg was broken probably the very first day he was gone. Now think about this. He had a broken leg for 5 weeks with not a single ounce of medication. Can you imagine what kind of torture that is? And he was, I believe he was at the house the whole time. And he couldn't smell home. He knew home was close. And like at night, I'd go out to the driveway and I'd call out to him. And he actually could have heard me, So this is my theory. If he would have got hit on Highway 29, which is a pretty big highway next to my house, I think he would have been done. I mean, the car's going by like 50 miles an hour, right? His right front leg's broken. My theory is he made it across Highway 29. Okay, and he's scared. So then he goes and hides under a car. They're probably their car. And I believe they just didn't realize it and they backed over him, and it broke his leg. And I think they just felt bad, thought he was going to die. I mean, he had like scabs on him all up side, his, not just the leg, but I mean, his whole side was scabs. So they probably thought he was going to die. And they wanted to, my theory is that they wanted to, make him comfortable, as comfortable as possible, because they feel bad. They are animal lovers. And this motherfucker just wouldn't die 5 weeks later. And, I still gave him the reward, but you know what? Fuck that guy. You have my dog with his broken leg the very first fucking day. I could have fucking saved so much pain and heartache that he's been through if I would have just took him to the vet the first fucking day. You knew who the fuck I was. I have my collar. His collar was still on him with my name, my information. How the fuck you think you called me to give me the send me the picture? So like, but in the end of the day, hey man, they at least finally called, because you know what they could have saw all that stuff going on, freaked out. Could have went to the backyard, put a bullet right in his head, and bury him, and nobody would have a problem. So, and he has granted me an extra, like, this was like 5 years ago, so he granted me an extra 5 years with him, so I have to at least thank him for that, But fuck that guy, because like when we found out his leg was broken, they said it was broken probably the very first day because of the way how much it had like tried to scar up and heal itself. It was bad. So his right leg, say his bone's like this, right? his right leg's like this, right? So this part's just dangling, right? The vet said they could not pull because his muscles had like scar tissued up so badly that they could not pull the bone back to here and fuse it. What they had to do was basically cut off this part of the bone, right? Just move it over and then fuse it. So his right front leg is an inch shorter than his other three legs, you know? Which is not fucking crazy that his right leg and my right leg both have issues. Like, I mean, if this dog ain't fucking destined for me, man, I don't know what the fuck I want to say, you know? But yeah, he still had his collar on him with his tag. And I mean, let's be honest, if he was out there, I mean, everybody was looking for this dog. He couldn't have gotten away with three legs. Like with that broken leg, there's no way. I mean, animal control would have got him. I mean, people would have seen him, you know. This had to happen very early, you know. Yeah, fuck those guys, you know. But man, can you just imagine that? Like, God, going through that's got to be like, I mean, that's all some level, some crazy torture level. Like, I mean, come on, a broken fucking leg for 5 fucking weeks, not even a fucking Tylenol. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, when I got my accident, hell, fuck, at least I got morphine running up in my ear. I was medicated. I didn't feel that shit, you know? But, you know what? They still fed him. They still gave him water. So, you know, whatever. I guess they deserve the reward. Man, I'll gladly pay, you know, $500 for the last 5 years with them, you know? But still, I still feel some kind of anger about that. So, anyways, I get them home. I got a lot of pictures. If you go on my Facebook, you'll see, like, I mean, we put a GoFundMe out there for them. Would you believe that this GoFundMe raised enough money, almost exactly enough money to pay for all his surgeries? And I have to thank everybody for that. Like, that's fucking amazing. Like, his surgery bill, I mean, it was like $4,000 some dollars. It was a nice chunk of change, and like I was over here trying to figure out how I'm gonna pull credit out to pay for it. So we threw the GoFundMe up there, and you know what? I would like to say this: when we threw the GoFundMe up, right? I went and looked at it. I had access to it. So I went and looked at the very first donation. The very first donation to his GoFundMe was $500 from a random white old lady. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Man, I think a lot of people out there really felt like my emotions. Like, I mean, I was hurting really bad. I mean, I lost my best friend, you know. My best friend's hurt now. I mean, happy I found him though. You know, happy I found him. And it's funny, like the vet offices literally had his like flyer in there too. Everybody, they all knew about him. Everybody knew about Sasuke. You know, like his name, Sasuke. I was like hot sauce and then the letter K, Sasuke. You know. Man, God, how they just call that number the very first day? Man, I could have had him to the doctor and his leg would have been straight. Like, he wouldn't have this, you know. Anyway, so I got 5 more years with this guy. And I tell you, like, he's my oldest, you know, and like, you know, I'm hurting that I feel like his time is growing short with us, right, Sasuke? Like, can you hear the way he's breathing? Hear that? Breaks my fucking heart. Apparently, the vet says that he has things that are blockage to his, you know, airway a little bit, so like he can't go out. Like, he gets excited. He can't. It's hard for him to breathe through his airway because it's gotten smaller. Basically, the only surgery I could do for him is like that hole, like you see other people do. Man, fuck all that shit. Okay. As soon as I feel like this guy's in pain, I will alleviate him of that pain, because I think people who keep their pets alive just because and the pets still hurting. Selfish. Those are selfish people. Those are people who are thinking, they're not thinking about them, the pet. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about like the loss that they will have. Like, that's kind of like a selfish thing. So like, as soon as he's hurting, like, or he's like not showing signs of like being as rambunctious, because he's still, happy and tail wags when he sees me and everything still. But as soon as I'm done, like, yeah, I'm gonna let him go in peace. I'm gonna hurt. But at least we'll be able to do it on our terms, right? And this way, I'm gonna buy. He can eat 15 cheeseburgers that day. Eat anything he wants. You want to try chocolate? You can eat a Snickers bar that day. You can try everything that day. He's already eating everything I eat now. If I eat something now, he gets some of that. This guy hardly eats any of his dog food. But yeah, like, the last 5 years with him, and I'm just sad to see like this chapter of my life's gonna be close soon, and I just want to. I love this guy so much. It's like one of my kids. He made me get up. He made me take care of him. And he showed me nothing but unconditional love from the day he was brought home. My kids love him. Everybody loves him. I've thrown parties at my house, and it's crazy. I've thrown parties at my house. 100 people at the house. Big house party. Doors open, people smoking. Not one bark. People will attest. There's not a single bark out of this guy. Like, if he likes you, if I like you, he knows it. He reads it. He can feel me. And of course, if you're invited to my party, I know you're gonna like it. So he loved those parties because like he would. You don't want to pet him, he's on to the next person. He has so many people, but you know what? He never got lost. Like, he knew where his boundaries were. When he got lost, it was comfortable, But he knows where his boundaries are. Like, we have the garage door open. He knows not to go past that garage door line. He knows not to go out the front door. There's things that he just knows. That's why he's such a fucking amazing dog. And I needed that because there's no way I can go run after a dog. When I tell a dog, hey, stop, come, he needs to come because I'm not going to be able to go chase him, And this guy here is like, he's perfect dog. Like, man. All right, so you talking about you hear me talking about you, son? Yeah, he was like that. He protected my kids. He would sleep in the boys' room on the floor, just keep an eye on him. It would be funny back when Coda was little and like she was in her crib and stuff. And when she cried, he would cry with her, try to get our attention. Like other people have brought over like their kids to kind of. And he's not like a small dog. He's still 70 pounds. He's a pretty big dog. They'll bring over their kids, to kind of test how their kid reacts with a dog before they think about introducing a dog to their home. And they always bring him here because they trust this guy so much. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, they know that nothing's going to happen, And yeah, those kids will come and they'll yell, yank on his ear or something. He don't like that, but he's not attacking anybody, Yeah, so he rarely even barked. But when he did bark, he had to bark now. He can bark. And he has free access to the house. He has his own doggy door to go use the bathroom. Let's just listen to that. I know it's close. I don't know what day. I'm going to wake up and just find that he's done, I love him. He's always been my best friend, story about this guy. It's crazy. He's lived an amazing story. He's the same right leg like me. He was there for me. I had to be there for him. I got this extra 5 years with him now. you know. Keeps me from being lonely. This breaks my heart. You know. But they say he's not in pain. He just can't, you know, he breathes pants a little bit because of the airway. But like once he's in pain, he doesn't like feel it. And, you know, hey, I will say our goodbyes and you will eat the last meal. I mean, if it has to be like an $80 steak from Marcel's or something, hell, you got it. Yeah. I do got videos of like we go out to birthday parties and like at steakhouses and everybody would just donate their bones or whatever the leftovers to him. Man, this guy's eating so many like expensive steaks in his life is ridiculous, you know. But I mean, I just hope I provided him a good life. I know I gave him love every day. He showed me love every day. He's my best fucking friend, man. And I just been dealing with a lot of loss, you know. So like, I'm not looking forward to this. Some people have different relationships with their pets, you know. Some are probably stronger than my bond with them, but some are a lot less. Some people just view them as straight pets. Hell yeah. But I hope I gave him a good life. I know I gave him love. My niece, nephews grew up with him. Like, they love him. He's family. He's in all our Christmas pictures. He's family. He's been around since day one, you know. And I just want to tell him I'm going to miss him. But I love him. And he did do his job, and he was there for me. So, this is new. I just hope I lived up to his standards and definitely gave him enough love. So, you know, story of a man and his dog Sasuke. He's more famous than I am. It's just for everybody to kind of end the story. A lot of people follow on Facebook and follow me still, like, from that time when I lost him. And sad that book's about to end. That chapter is about to be over, you know. But I definitely, like, really, really, really enjoyed these last 15 years with him. I don't know if I would have made it without him. So, just want to say good night. Sasuke loves you guys. Loves everybody. If he ever came over here, he'd show you how much he loves you. He loves everybody. Anybody who's ever been to come across him knows. He's like an awesome dog. You know, get your chance to say bye. If you know him, you can say bye in the comments. You know, if you don't know it and you're just hearing the story for the first time too, that's, you know, that's cool too. I mean, sharing, I guess. If we share the sadness, it won't be so bad, right? I'm just gonna see him again at the Rainbow Road, right? Love you, son. This is a good one. All right. Signing off. Good night, everybody.